Okay, so I'm going to take a few minutes and go through the PowerPoint with you on selecting your target market and talking about the different types of market segmentation that we have out there. So let's look at a couple of terms here just to make sure we understand. The market is everybody out there who has money and could be a customer. That's the market. Everybody that's out there that has the potential to be your customer. Usually they share common needs. The target market is the group of customers that you specifically are trying to reach. So for example, I'm not going to try and reach the same people if I work in a surf shop that I would if I worked in a candle shop. That's two totally different targets right there, if that makes sense. So, these are the people you desire to come into your business and spend their money on you. These are the people you want to make happy, your target. Now, mass marketing is the whole market where you have a product that a lot of people want to buy. Toilet paper is your mass market. Bottled water, a mass market. Things that everybody needs, and you don't have to do a lot of specific plans. You don't have to have advertisements for little kids and advertisements for older adults. It just all fits in one group. Marketing segments is when you take your market, your customers, and you group them into 4 segments. And we're going to talk about those 4 segments. And you group them in those segments of common characteristics, and it helps you figure out how to reach them. Market segmentation is just dividing the whole entire market into smaller groups. It's also called niche marketing. So if I want to create a niche marketing for my surf shop, I have surfboards, I'm not going to use certain types of advertising. I'm going to use things that would meet those people, those customers where they are, so that they can find my surf shop and know that I have what they need. So the importance of target markets, why it's increasing, you want to, of course, be able to get new customers and keep existing customers. You want to keep people loyal and coming back. How do you get them to keep coming back? You want your goods and services to change as needed to fit the customer's needs. You want to know who is buying your product, why they're buying it, can they afford it, can you satisfy their needs with it. So you want to know these things. Why target markets are increasing? Because we're developing a specific mix of people. We look at people in different ways to reach out to them, and it increases our sales. It shows the differences in customers' taste and their needs. So if I have a product, can I have a product that a 94-year-old man would use as well as an 18-year-old would use? Do I have a product that would fit only 94-year-olds or older men? You know, that's where you want to be specific and show the differences in how to reach both the 18-year-olds and the 94-year-olds. It increases your sales and profits, and it makes sure the customers will have the willingness to pay. It doesn't matter how you reach them if they aren't willing or able to pay for the product. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. I'll give you an example. My family has been really aware of the recycling issue, and we drink a lot of bottled water. And I had checked into this new brand of water that comes in cans, and you can get a 24-pack for $56. I want to be environmentally conscious, but can I pay $56 for 24 cans of water? No, I can't. I just keep drinking it out of my tap. But, you know, they've got to be willing and able to purchase that. Okay, so here's the advantages of having market segments. It's very easy to identify your market. It's accessible, actionable, measurable. You can define who you're looking for. It's substantial, meaning that if I reach this group, it's going to make a huge difference in my profits. Okay? So I want to see a huge difference in my profits. And you want it to be stable. Will it stay long enough to work? Is this going to last longer than just a few weeks? Okay? The disadvantages are if we pick the wrong market. If we can't reach a market. If we have a market, but we don't really have any data to understand that market. Maybe we looked at some forecasting done by marketers and it wasn't a very good forecast, or we got bad information. And sometimes things are fads and they're really big for a while, but they slowly change. I know people in the clothing industry have to be very careful. They can't make a lot of clothes ahead of time because fads are going to change. And what people want to wear, do they want holes in their jeans? How long will that fad last? And, the next thing you know, they don't want holes in their jeans, or they don't want boot cut, or they don't want this, or they don't want that, because fads are going to change. So you got to watch out for fads. Mass marketing. Now remember, mass marketing, that's your toilet paper, that's your Tylenol, that's your bottled water. Advantages to mass marketing, meaning you market to everybody. It's not confusing. It's easy to implement. Customers get it. It doesn't cost you a lot to promote because you can have one commercial for your product and it reach all age groups. Tylenol can do a commercial on how they're there for your family members, and they can show in their commercial from a baby to a child to adults to elderly. And you can see how they need that. Everybody in the family needs that service. You don't have to do different commercials for the different groups of people. So it is less cost. It's also less work. You just use strategic thinking, less manual hours. Now, the disadvantages, one single message may not reach enough customers. It may not keep pace with new trends. So, I don't know what the new trends in toilet paper are, but there are trends to toilet paper. I know there's quilted, there's double ply, two ply, is that what it is? Not being able to tell people why yours is better than everybody else's. You can look at these commercials and you see, who is it? Oh, my honey's clean. My honey. Yeah, that commercial sticks in my head. I can't tell you what toilet paper that is. So I can go to the store and I can sing you that song about my honey being clean, but I can't tell you which toilet paper it was. Then you have lost sales opportunities. It's harder and more costly to gain new customers than to keep your old ones. You may actually lose money in trying to reach new customers. So trends to market segments. In the 1950s, we were basically mass marketing. All you saw was soaps and laundry detergents and things like that being marketed, and it was to everybody. Then in the 1960s, we started having market segments. You started having marketing to younger groups versus older groups of people. And you start seeing marketing directly for stay-at-home moms versus marketing for the dads that were out working. And you would see the different things. 1970s was your niche marketing because you had a different culture during the 70s. You had people who were liking different things clothing-wise. The 70s were crazy clothing-wise because you had a certain group of people that were wearing all these crazy clothes, and then you had a certain group that were still more conservative in what they wore. In the 1980s, you had mass customization. You want it your way, we're going to get it your way. Talk about cars. You could order your car, but that was the first time you could really order your car before you got it, and you got what cup holders you wanted and what speakers you wanted. That was new in the 1980s. Then you had 1990s, the micro marketing, and then in the 2000s, we had e-marketing come into. So let's talk about the 4 segments. The first segment is demographic. Demographic is easy to remember. It's the questions your mama told you never to ask anybody. Somebody's age, what generation they are. Are generations important? Yeah, because if you're trying to reach a different generation, you can see the years there. Baby boomers are from 46 to 64. My parents are both baby boomers. And then X, I guess I'm X. I don't know. I'm Y. So each one is different. Another part of demographic is your gender. How large your family is. How many kids you have. Family life cycle. Where you are. Are you dating? Are you married? Are you prepared to have children? Do you already have children? Are you retiring? Are you getting the empty nest where your children go off to college and work? Where are you in that life cycle? And that's important in demographic. How much you make. Okay? Why do we want to know how much you make? So we know how much to charge. Okay? What your occupation is, education, your ethnicity, your nationality, your religion, and your social class. So a lot of these questions are questions your mama told you. Don't ever ask somebody that. That's none of your business. Don't talk to people about how old they are. Don't ask people what they're about their ethnicity, or don't divide people by gender. But when you're marketing, am I going to market different to a female than I am to a male? 9 times out of 10, yes. So that is the demographic market segmentation. Then we have the geographic market segmentation. This one is easy to remember because it's by region. It can be a town, it can be a state, it can be a country. So here's how I would remember this. Geographic market segmentation, I am going to not be as successful if I open a designer bathing suit company in Colorado. They have snow for more than over half the year. Why would I open a designer bathing suit shop in the middle of Colorado? It's not going to work, right? That's not a good geographic market. I need to be somewhere else, near the beach, probably. So knowing where, and how your business will do well based on where it's at and where your customers are. And how they can get to you. So geographic's easy to remember. Psychographic is their lifestyle. What do they like to do? What are their family activities? What are their interests? Well, how do they think? What are their attitudes? What do they value? Do they value family time? Do they value how they're treated? Do they value that they feel like you're treating them like a little customer? What they like to do. So this is where you have people who maybe they have a specific, they're into mountain biking. Okay? That's a psychographic market segmentation. People who like to mountain bike. People who like to be outdoors. People who like to travel. That's psychographic market. Then we have behavioral. This is how they behave towards a product. Meaning, how often do they purchase something? Are they loyal to a brand or are they loyal to price? So some people are loyal to brand. Like, some people will only buy a Chevrolet. Some people will buy a similar vehicle that's not a Chevrolet if they can get it cheaper. So that's a behavioral question. Are they a first-time user or are they a regular user of your product? Are they ready to buy your product? Is it urgent? Do they really see the importance of your product? And do holidays, birthdays, and milestone events stimulate their purchases in your product? So that's the 4 segments. 4. So let's look at them again. Demographic, questions you wouldn't ask in person. Psychographic, geographic, and behavioral. Those are your 4 marketing types. Okay? Segmentation. So I hope this helps you understand how we segment these target markets.